This story is inspired by real military survival situations, but the characters and events are fictional. What would you do if you were stranded behind enemy lines, injured, completely alone, and carrying information that could save hundreds of lives? Would you keep moving? Or would you give up? This is the story of Staff Sergeant Ethan Cole, a soldier whose greatest battle wasn't against the enemy, but against himself.
Command, this is Cole. Do you read?
Enemy forces are preparing to relocate.
The mission was never supposed to last more than a few hours. Staff Sergeant Ethan Cole and 5 members of his reconnaissance team were assigned to gather intelligence on a hidden missile installation deep within a remote mountain region. If the mission succeeded, military commanders could prevent an attack that threatened both soldiers and nearby civilians. Everything changed in seconds. As the team prepared to withdraw, gunfire erupted from the surrounding hills. The enemy had been waiting. Smoke filled the valley. Explosions echoed through the mountains. Communication broke down almost instantly. Ethan was thrown to the ground by the blast of a mortar round, and when the smoke finally cleared, his team was gone. He reached for his radio. Nothing. He searched his backpack and discovered the one thing he still had: the encrypted memory card containing the mission's intelligence. At that moment, Ethan realized something terrifying. If he failed to deliver that information, hundreds of innocent lives could be lost. His mission was no longer about getting home. It was about making sure others had the chance to. Every step forward came with a new danger. Enemy patrols combed the mountains, searching for anyone who had survived the ambush. Ethan's injured leg slowed him down, and each mile felt longer than the last. He survived on small amounts of food, collected rainwater whenever he could, and hid beneath rocks and fallen trees whenever he heard voices in the distance. But the enemy wasn't his greatest challenge. The real battle was happening inside his own mind. He couldn't stop thinking about the moment his team disappeared into the smoke. Had they survived? Had he abandoned them? Could he have done something differently? The silence became louder than the gunfire. As exhaustion set in, doubt began to replace confidence. His training told him to keep moving, but his heart whispered that it might already be too late. Still, every morning he stood up. Not because he wasn't afraid, but because giving up would guarantee failure. By the 3rd day, time had become Ethan's greatest enemy. The intelligence he carried would soon become useless. Reports suggested the missile site was preparing to relocate within days. Once it moved, the opportunity to stop the attack would disappear. As if that weren't enough, a powerful winter storm was approaching. Dark clouds swallowed the mountain peaks. Temperatures dropped below freezing. Snow began to cover the narrow trails he needed to follow. Every delay made survival less likely. Every wrong turn wasted precious energy. Every minute mattered. Ethan understood the terrible truth. If he slowed down, the storm would claim him. If he stopped completely, the mission would die with him. So despite hunger, pain, and overwhelming exhaustion, he kept moving toward the only hope he had left. Ethan didn't survive because he possessed superhuman strength. He survived because he trusted the skills he had spent years learning. He purified water before drinking it. He avoided unnecessary fights, knowing that every bullet and every ounce of energy mattered. He navigated by map, compass, and the stars when his electronic equipment failed. He treated his injured leg with the supplies he still had and carefully rationed every piece of food. Sometimes the smartest decision wasn't to fight, it was to stay hidden. Military survival isn't about being fearless. It's about making the right decision under impossible pressure. One careful choice at a time, Ethan slowly closed the distance between himself and friendly territory.
The intelligence Ethan carries becomes useless in 5 days. He will make it. Not because he's superhuman.
After days alone in the mountains, Ethan finally crossed into friendly territory. Exhausted, injured, and barely able to stand, he handed over the memory card that had never left his side. The intelligence arrived just in time. The planned attack was prevented, and countless lives were spared. But Ethan's first question wasn't about the mission. It was about his team. Days later, he learned that several of his teammates had survived the ambush. The diversion he created during those chaotic first moments had unknowingly given them the chance to escape. The guilt he carried throughout the journey wasn't the truth. It was the burden he had placed on himself. In the end, Ethan discovered that survival isn't only about staying alive, it's about refusing to let fear make your decisions. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is taking one more step when every part of you wants to stop. If this story reminded you of the strength of the human spirit, leave a comment telling us which moment impacted you the most, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring survival stories inspired by real military experiences.